There's a specific kind of person who doesn't just think, you narrate. You comment on your own life like you're both the player and the coach. You whisper, okay, keys, 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 while scanning the room. You argue with yourself in the shower like it's a debate you need to win. You rehearse a text message out loud, then delete it anyway. And the worst part isn't the talking. It's the moment someone walks in and you feel that heat in your face, like you've been caught doing something wrong. If you've ever felt ashamed of that, you're not broken. This makes sense. You're trying to stay regulated. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the real reason your brain does this and why it usually starts earlier than you think, often in childhood. If you talk to yourself a lot, you probably recognize how it shows up in tiny moments, almost like your mind needs a voice to hold on to the day. You might find yourself narrating tasks as you do them. Email first, then dishes. Okay, 5 minutes. Not because you're confused, because your thoughts move fast and speech gives them shape. You probably talk search when you lose something. Phone, wallet, charger. Like saying it out loud turns your brain into a focused scanner instead of a panicked fog. At work, you might whisper steps under your breath just to keep your brain from scattering. Open the doc, reply to that, then meeting notes. It's not distraction, it's structure. And in relationships, you might practice how to say something normal so you don't get misunderstood. You rehearse the tone, the timing, the exact sentence that won't start a fight or create a weird pause. Sometimes the voice is gentle. Breathe, you're okay. Just get through this part. And sometimes, after a mistake, the voice gets sharper. Seriously? Why would you do that? Not because you enjoy being hard on yourself, because part of you thinks pressure is the only way to stay safe. But that's just the surface. Here's what nobody really tells you about people who do this. The talking isn't the strangest part. It's what the talking is quietly trying to carry. From the outside, self-talk can look kind of funny, like a quirky habit. But from the inside, it can feel like you're never fully off duty. Because when you're talking to yourself constantly, you're often doing something invisible in the background. You're monitoring, you're organizing, you're preparing. Even in rest, you might be running quiet simulations. What you'll say if someone brings up that topic again. How you'll explain yourself if you get misunderstood. What could go wrong and how you'll handle it if it does. And silence isn't always peaceful. You might have noticed it in your body, that restless feeling when everything goes quiet, like your nervous system is waiting for the other shoe to drop. So you fill the room with your own voice, not because you're dramatic, because your voice creates a railing, something to hold. And that can be exhausting, because you're not just talking, you're being your own planner, your own translator, your own witness, sometimes your own steady presence. And at some point, relying on someone else to help you make sense of things didn't feel available. So your voice became the place you went when no one mirrored you back. If you're nodding right now, stay with me. The reason is older than this habit. So why do you keep doing it? Why can't you just stop and be normal the way people casually suggest? Picture a kid alone in their room trying to do something simple, homework, getting dressed, packing a bag. No one's explaining, no one's calming the moment. The air feels rushed or unpredictable, or like mistakes have consequences. So the kid starts whispering instructions. Okay, first this, then that. Don't mess up. Not because they're confused, because the voice creates order when the environment doesn't. Developmental psychology has a name for this. Kids often use private speech out loud as they learn. They borrow a caregiver's voice to guide themselves. But when a caregiver isn't emotionally available, or when life feels too fast, too tense, too unclear, the kid has to become the voice. Your younger self figured out something quietly brilliant. If I narrate it, I can see it. If I can see it, I can navigate it. You became your own narrator because you needed one, and no one else was available for the job. And later, as an adult, the habit doesn't disappear. It upgrades. It follows you into stress, into work, into decisions, into those quiet moments when your mind tries to keep you safe by staying one step ahead. It goes back further than you think. This isn't a flaw, it was a solution. Your brain wasn't broken, it was protecting you. You're not unstable, you're adaptive. You're not broken. This makes sense. What if this habit wasn't your mind being too much, but it being enough? Enough to companion you. Enough to organize the chaos. Enough to translate a world that didn't always speak your language. And yes, there's real science behind why it works. When you say something out loud, keys, 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 your attention tightens, your mind gets a clearer target. Research calls one part of this the production effect. Speaking can make information feel more encoded, more real, more memorable. And that thing you sometimes do, talking to yourself in second or third person, "You've got this," or using your name, can create a little space between you and the emotion. Psychologists call it distanced self-talk, not as a trick, as a built-in way humans regulate. Even the harsher voice, the one that says, "What is wrong with you?" often started as protection too. A part of you that believes criticism prevents rejection, that pressure prevents failure. But it's not the truth about you. It's the scared part of you trying to keep you safe. Here's the part most people miss. The goal isn't less voice, it's a different relationship with it. So now that you understand where it comes from, how do you recognize when your self-talk is helping you and when it's turning into something heavier? You can often tell the difference by what the voice leaves you with. Helpful self-talk tends to feel like clarity, forward motion, a calmer nervous system, a voice that guides you back into the moment. It often shows up as simple language. Next step. Let's do one thing. Okay, try again. Heavy self-talk, what researchers sometimes call chatter, that stuck looping, can feel like tightness in your chest, repeating the same sentence with no resolution, replaying old conversations like you're trying to rewrite the ending. A voice that doesn't move you forward, it just keeps you pinned. Helpful self-talk leaves you with a next step. Heavy self-talk leaves you with a verdict. And in other people, you might spot it in the pause before the response, that half second where their eyes flick away as they access an internal script, or the quiet rehearsal in the car before a meeting, or the way they name the task to tame the task. Okay, just these 3 emails. It's not a disconnect, it's a bridge between thought and action, between feeling and safety, in real time. This isn't about fixing yourself overnight, and it's not about forcing silence. Sometimes the most respectful thing you can do is notice the role your voice is playing without judging it. You might start realizing, right now I'm using my voice to focus. Right now I'm using my voice to soothe. Right now I'm looping because something in me feels unsafe. And sometimes even a little awareness loosens the loop because you're no longer fused with the voice. You're beside it. Not to silence it, just to relate to it differently. And that's already more than most people ever do. So here are 2 questions I genuinely love to hear from you. When do you notice your self-talk the most? During stress, loneliness, work, or right after you make a mistake? And if that voice could be honest, what is it trying to protect you from? If this resonated with you, you might also recognize yourself in the next one. People who have gone through too much, the weight they carry silently. Because sometimes the voice isn't extra, it's what shows up when you've had to carry too much alone. That video is here.